short for a stormtrooper?
The Church of the Force is a brand new concept just introduced to the Star Wars universe, and yet their members have been around for a very long time. We don't know much about these mysterious figures, except that people like Lor San Tekka seem to be very significant to Luke's new Jedi Order, and also to the overall understanding of the Force. So, with what little information we can gather from Wikipedia and new books, let's see if we can explore the Church of the Force. Listed on Wikipedia as an underground religious movement, this organization existed during the time of the Galactic Empire and practiced their supernatural ways in complete risk of their own lives. The Church of the Force also cherished the Jedi, or should I say, the light of the Jedi, believing that it would one day return to the galaxy. Lor San Tekka was one of these members, and not only was he a great aid and asset to the New Republic after the Battle of Endor, but he also never believed in the Emperor's destruction of the Jedi and became one of the most sought-after figures for Jedi lore. The new Aftermath book, Empire's End, also tells us that these members had specific beliefs about the Jedi's abilities, believing them to be channelers of the Force, not controllers, meaning that no one actually was a master of the Force, more so they only directed its flow, found ways to manipulate the energy, but never actually had complete control over it. After all, the Force is a living energy. Another interesting fact that we learned recently is that even though they shared obvious differences with the Jedi, their compassion for them runs very deep. So much so that they actually made it a personal mission of theirs to return Kyber crystals to their rightful places, the planets that Jedi considered homeworlds, obviously always at enormous risk to their own well-being. They truly believed that the Jedi were, at least, important figures in history, and without some kind of order that follows those beliefs, there can be no balance in the Force. They are keepers of the light side just as much as someone like Luke Skywalker. But what can these figures tell us about the Force and the state of the galaxy in Episode 8? Well, I for one find it very fascinating that they held their own beliefs about how the Jedi could manipulate the Force. If their history tells us anything, it sounds like they have very ancient ties and beliefs, because we don't even know exactly when their start point is. They may have attained an equal amount of knowledge and wisdom as the Jedi, so much so that even Luke himself might have learned a thing or two from someone like Lor San Tekka. The significance of this lies with the understanding of the Force itself. Remember that as we move into this new trilogy, our understanding of things will not be the same, and that means the Force as well. It could even be possible that the Church of the Force actually taught Luke Skywalker how to embrace the lifestyle of the Grey Jedi, helping him to conclude that the Jedi Order was wrong, and that it is time for him to embrace a larger view of the Force, forever shaping his beliefs and changing his life. Yes, they believe that the light of the Jedi will return, but perhaps the light can only come through a specific style or a specific training method. Of course, we have to remember that this concept may not be singular. It could also apply to how this new school of the dark side may have evolved their method of thinking as well. Because one thing we do not know is if some members of this organization are involved with the First Order. It is possible that some of these figures made the decision to side with Snoke and pass down their wisdom to him instead. Perhaps, just like Luke Skywalker, Snoke does not consider himself to be a controller of the Force, but merely an overseer, a director, a dictator, learning from the Force and its process, using it to educate instead of dominate. And members of the Church of the Force might be right by his side. So now I want to hear from all of you. Given all of this new information and speculation, how will the Church of the Force apply to Episode 8, Luke Skywalker, the Jedi, and possibly even Snoke and the First Order as well? Leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. And as always, until next we meet, stay in a galaxy far, far away.